Camacho. Oh, that's good. Hold it. That's enough. That's a good demonstration there, Jesus. Well, Officer Hatfield, I can assure you that I'm going to write a nice little feature encouraging everybody to send in their dimes and dollars to my lip bleeding to buy athletic equipment for these scrappy little Latino youngsters here. Oh, nice try. You're talking poetry in motion here. Okay. Still got the old reflexes, I guess. Oh. Time, Jesus.
Slap. This isn't any port in a storm anymore, you know.
Hey, I got important career decisions, little life crisis to deal with here. Who else am I supposed to turn to? My mom's dead.
I don't hear from you for months. Then you just walk in like you still own the place.
So what are we having?
You are not having anything.
I see. Just because I step out of the house for a few years, boom, right? Women. I tell you, if I live to be 100, I'll never...
He's gonna be here in a little while.
What, is he too cheap to take you out to dinner?
Some things never change, huh? What are you just limping for?
Oh, see, we men, most of us anyway, we have this little sensitive area, and every time we get kicked in it, we tend to kind of pretzel up.
Seems you've been getting kicked a lot there lately. I mean symbolically.
Yes, I have. You mind if I sit down?
No, go right ahead. Sit down.
So, is this guy, is he young or what?
He's not old.
What she means he's young?
Youngish.
What is he, blonde with ripples in his stomach, PhD in physiology, gourmet cook, drives something red, just smoking with horsepower, dresses in those Gatsby clothes like they wear on the yachts, has a golden retriever by his side, and always brushing the hair out of his eyes, politics, just a shade to the left.
What did you come here to ask me about?
Are you putting on a little weight or what?
I don't have time for this.
It's hard to tell in that moo-moo thing. It's artsy-craftsy look, isn't it? That particular look?
You have 3 minutes.
Annie, look, I'm half 100 years old. I got no career left. I've been covering sports for 15 years. 15 magnificent years. And now Peg Leg Bates has me running around like a high school kid covering back page garbage. Everything I write is wrong. I can't focus. I'm floundering around like a flounder.
Who's Peg Leg Bates?
Nelson.
Yeah. He doesn't have a peg leg.
That has nothing to do with it.
It seems to me he's testing you.
He is killing me.
Well, you have to die before you can live.
Oh, that's beautiful, see? That makes absolutely no sense at all.
Well, then don't ask me for my advice. Out.
Look, Annie, I'm desperate, okay? You're looking at a man at the crossroads. We're talking about the lady and the tiger. I don't know which door to choose.
Choose the one marked out.
You're a much more giving person when we slept together.
You just stayed around on purpose to give my friend a hard time.
Your friend? Now, isn't that quaint? Any coffee?
Gallons of it. At the diner.
I can take a hint. Ooh. I think I'm gonna have to see an actual doctor about this. Oh. Do women have scrotums?
Scrota.
Scrota? Oh, Harry Birnbaum.
Hello, Slap. How goes it?
Well, I don't believe this. The next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, this is a classic here.
And you have 3 exits.
And all those years, Annie always thought of you as, at best, asexual.
No,
She did?
No, I didn't.
Well,
I did.
maybe I'm being a little kind.
I swear.
Look, Slap, well, I hope you don't mind that,
Now, your wife's been dead, what, a day and a half?
6 years.
Oh, so you figured the appropriate amount of time had passed.
Slap, would you please get the hell out of here?
I'm going. I'm out the damn door, okay? Harry Birnbaum, my stars and garters. Well, we are living in desperate times. Desperate times indeed. Come on in. Charlie,
Oh, geez, not today.
come here a minute, will you? Something you want to tell me?
You mean about the guy Mr. Kruger hired to replace you or the water cooler?
Talk, Charlie.
Well, it's busted. The spigot's cracked, so it squirts all over the place, and I'm probably responsible for getting it fixed, but all I'm doing is trying to follow orders.
So, Nelson did it to me, huh?
Your face is all puffy.
Blindsided me.
Either you got no sleep or you stuck your face in a beehive.
I can't believe they've got a new guy here at my desk, sitting in the chair I made famous.
You're supposed to sit over there now.
In classified ads? Why don't they just put me on the fire escape?
Seems like a decent guy, the new guy.
Bleach in the sun while the vultures peck out my liver.
He was uncomfortable in your little alcove, but Nelson convinced him it would be okay.
So, how would you feel about having unbridled, non-stop sex this evening? I'll spring for dinner.
You ought to put some salve on that face.
How about it?
I've got a lot to do today.
Like what?
I've got to find you a place to sit, just to name one thing.
You know, Nelson is a quisling and a gimp. When he comes clumping out of that office on that wooden stump, tell him I'm looking for him, will you?
Actually, he's looking for you.
I have nothing to say to that man.
What wooden stump?
You want to duck in here for a minute?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Kruger, sir. Hey, watch my smoke.
Why don't you check with me after 3?
What for?
Something about sex without a bridle?
Yeah. Yes, I shall check with you.
I've seen Nelson in gym shorts. His legs are real.
Well, they look real, I'll give you that, but watch him disappear when there's a woodpecker in the vicinity.
We start at 9 a.m. around here, in case you weren't familiar with the routine.
Oh, forgive me, sir. I was at a funeral.
Good.
Just my brother's.
I want you to say hello to somebody. I think you may know him by reputation. This is Phil Brogan. Phil?
Slap Maxwell.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, same here.
You two know each other?
No?
No, Slap Maxwell. I heard of him, never met him.
No. Brogan, I've heard you too. Cedar Rapids?
Yeah, for a while. It was Des Moines reporter.
Mm-hmm. A few years ago?
Right.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
More than a few years ago.
Anyway, Slap, Phil's going to be working with us here. And I know you want to join me in welcoming him to the Ledger.
Tickle pink to have you aboard. I mean pink. Literally.
You know, I realize I'm sitting at your desk out there. If you want me to move, I'm...
No, nonsense, mon ami. I mean, me desk, Sue desk. What's in a desk anyway? Whoa, where's the time gone here? I'm a little bit behind here. I could just kick myself for coming in so late today because time is a gift, you know, and it's too precious to waste. To me, that's the way I feel anyway. I'll talk to you fellas later, all right?
Can I talk to you for a minute, Slap, if I may?
Well, is there time for that, Skipper?
No. I'll get out of your way here.
Oh, Phil, if you happen to need anything, just holler, okay? Because I'll be back over here in the classifieds. Just snug as a bug.
Thank you.
Okay. And there's some stuff on your desk now. That's mine. If it gets in the way, chuck it out. So, what can I do for you, sir?
Smooth as a pig in a barrel, aren't you?
Pardon me?
You know what I'm talking about.
I never know what you're talking about.
What the hell are you up to?
In which particular context?
You know this guy, don't you?
I know lots of guys, Nelson, and yet who of us really knows anybody?
You're making monkeys with the wrong guy. How do you know him?
Is that your leg squeaking?
You better not pull some dumbass stunt here. Or you're gonna find yourself working the far end of the truck.
You know what you should do is squirt a little Pennzoil on it. Works great on my cabinets.
Listen, damn it, I'm fighting for my life here. This newspaper isn't doing blintzes. I'm tired of putting myself on the line for you, Slap. The only reason you're here is because of me. So don't keep giving me your mumbo jumbo, because I heard it all, and I'm sick of it.
What did you have for breakfast? Just straight garlic?
Get out of here.
I'm going to tell you something, Nelson. You know, I'm tougher than you are, and I'm smarter than you are. And I'm going to go out there and write the best features you've ever read. Reams of them. I'm going to have you crying in your beer. I'm going to sit back in those cheap seats, and I'm just going to keep slinging stuff under that door. I'm going to Breslin you to death. My best years are still ahead of me. And sure, I have feeling for you because of your handicap. But don't expect me to wallow in that vat of self-pity that you flail around in.
A&E will be right back with Dabney Coleman in Slap Maxwell. A&E is back with Dabney Coleman as Slap Maxwell.
You telling me the modern-day ball player is not coddled and grossly overpaid?
What happened to your face?
You know the most money Eno Slaughter ever made? Man played till he was 42 years old. Played hurt. Played bleeding. Would have played dead if they asked him to. The most money. Guess how much?
45,000.
65.
Pretty good.
Nothing.
Well, see, I was thinking 45.
These flash-in-the-pan jerks that play today couldn't hold his jock. If he played with the jock, which he probably didn't. That's how tough he was.
Ain't you got stories to file?
Not sports. Not anymore. Friend Nelson's seen to that.
Well, in that case, why don't you put an apron and help me out?
I'm talking to a wall here.
I should have stayed in football. Tavern business ain't no place for a sane person.
You ever play football in Iowa?
Semi-pro. Barnstorming toward the end.
Name Phil Brogan ring a bell?
Long time ago. Good writer. Bad drunk as far as I can recollect.
No, that's the guy. How good?
Compared to you?
Well, yeah. I mean, you think he could,
Hold your jock?
Yeah?
Nope. He was gifted, though. Said I was a mighty slab of beef who refused to be tenderized by the pounding of enemy linemen. I like that.
Hackneyed. Beef references been done.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah, sure.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. So how are things out in the heartland, Phil?
This is it for me, Slap. I'm out of chances. My last hurrah.
You eating right? You look a little pasty.
How's Annie?
Good. She's good.
Look, Slap, I didn't think I'd be taking your job. I didn't think I'd be taking any job. I've just been sending out resumes all over, and Nelson gave me a call, so naturally that night with Annie, I was out of it. I was...
Well, I doubt if anything would have happened anyway, even if you hadn't thrown up all over her. And it's not really that important. She was just my wife.
Look, Slap, nobody knows me around here. Nobody at the paper. I'd be real grateful if you didn't say anything about my,
Alcoholism? These lips are sealed, buddy.
I know you don't owe me any favors, but can I count on you?
Death and taxes. That's pretty much the spectrum of what you can count on these days. And Eno Slaughter, you can count on him. I'll see you later, and good luck to you.
He's gonna blow the whistle on me, isn't he?
Think so?
Excuse me, Mr. Maxwell.
Speak up, son.
I was gonna leave now. My brother's flying in from Lebanon on leave, and my mom wanted me to pick him up at the airport. I haven't seen him in over 2 years, sir.
Well, what about the coffee situation?
Pot's empty, but I can make a fresh pot.
Well, if you have ants in your pants and you absolutely have to go... And,
Plane lands in 20 minutes.
Airport's 10 minutes.
I'll make that fresh pot of coffee.
You're not on my account. Where do you suppose that new columnist is?
I haven't seen him all afternoon, sir.
Kind of an unorthodox first day on the job, isn't it?
Charlie, hadn't you better get to the airport?
Yes, ma'am. I was just about to go when Mr. Maxwell here was,
Harassing you?
Yes, ma'am. But in a very subtle, terrifying way.
Slap, he hasn't seen his brother for 2 years.
I don't have a brother. Over here on the dark side of the room, we don't have anything. We have coffee, light, nothing.
See you tomorrow, Charlie.
I was gonna make that coffee.
I'll make it. He made a pass at me, you know.
Of course he did. The kid's hormones run amok. To him, you represent every centerfold he ever hid under his mattress. But if you want, I'll have him killed.
Not the kid. Brogan. Said something about how sensuous my lips were. Tried to wedge me into a corner against a file cabinet.
Really, Brogan?
That was before lunch. I haven't seen him since.
That's amazing.
So I looked in the mirror. They are sensuous. I mean, if that's indicative of anything. I guess it's better than if they were scabby and cracked all the time.
Phil Brogan is a complicated story. You want to hear it?
I guess that's why they invented lip gloss.
Actually, I'm faced with a problem here, a moral dilemma.
He looks older than you. And sometimes you look plenty old yourself, compared to, say, me.
Well, here it is in a nutshell. But you have to promise that Nelson will hear none of this.
He drinks, doesn't he?
You see, Brogan drinks.
And you knew him a long time ago.
I knew him a long time ago.
And he still drinks, and he knows you know. And he's confided in you that he's at the bottom of the barrel. So, you're faced with an ethical decision.
I hate it when people know what I'm going to say before I say it. Are you just going to hover around here dressed like that? Smelling like that?
Smelling like what?
A citrus medley. You mix your scents, don't you? I mean, you mingle them with your natural fragrance. That is an art form, isn't it? Why are you here so late?
Brogan's supposed to phone in a story. I'm supposed to take it down, according to Nelson.
You look beat.
Maybe I am.
Maybe you ought to mosey on home.
Maybe I will.
Maybe I'll call you later.
Maybe you will.
Miss Ralston, I'd like you to meet my brother.
A little later, Charlie, okay?
Mr. Maxwell, I'd like you to meet my brother.
Yo, Slap.
Mr. Maxwell, I told my brother...
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Anyway, Miss Ralston.
First of all, let's talk about the hat piece.
Don't scream at me, okay, Nelson?
I'm not screaming.
You got a screaming tone. I got the makings of a migraine.
I didn't tell you to stay out all night. I'm at home, in bed. I'm here the next day, on time. Fresh as pie, wet as a whistle.
Well, we can't all lead the idyllic Reader's Digest life that you and the missus lead, Nelson. Some of us might get a little tired of giggling all the time.
What do you want?
You call a meeting.
Oh, yeah, the hat piece.
Screaming. Don't do it, okay?
I liked it.
Sure you did.
It speaks of bygone days when life was simpler, before the world got all jammed up. You know what era it calls to mind?
The era of hats?
Yeah. Snap brims, derbies, and skimmers. You remember them?
I do. Let's name all the different hats.
Only once did you lapse into a sports mode. You just can't stop yourself, can you?
I tried, Nellie.
If it isn't Enos Slaughter, it's Oscar Robertson or Seattle Slew or somebody. Why?
Maybe it's because I'm a sports writer. Well, no, but you got one of those, don't you?
That's right. I do. A great one. That piece that Brogan wrote was sensational. You read it?
Me? No. When would I have read it?
I would have thought maybe out of curiosity.
No, it's not my bailiwick anymore. I write about hats.
Hell of a wordsmith, that guy. Images jump right off the page at you.
Is that it? If so, I think I ought to get out there and maybe start another story, maybe one about shoes or...
Which is all the more astonishing since Brogan checked himself into a detox center last night. He called me from there. So it must have been very difficult for him to write the story.
No, not necessarily, unless I had him strapped into a straitjacket.
That's true, as long as his fingers were free, huh? I mean, they weren't giving him a lobotomy or something like that.
Right, there you go.
And the way he ended the story, my God. And finally, I'd like to pay tribute to the man I'm succeeding. What do you say about a symphony? How do you describe a diamond? Slap Maxwell's poetry wasn't high-rise or high-tech. No glitter, no chrome, no dazzling, dizzy ride in a sleek sedan. No, the Maxwell poetry was the simple song of the black kids with dreams in their eyes, holes in their pants, playing hoops on a project playground. Old men huddled around a pot-bellied stove at the country store listening to Ernie Harwell, whittling distant memories. That musty, cracked leather Johnny Mize mitt in the attic that Dad unearths for little Rusty one April day when the first shoots of spring dot the perimeters of the pond. That was Slap Maxwell's canvas. And he painted it like a Rembrandt. So from now on, the byline may be Brogan, but the magic will always be Maxwell.
What can I say? The guy's good.
Mitt for little Rusty.
Maybe not perfect.
Did a decent thing, Slap.
Well,
I don't know what's going to happen to Brogan, but you can have your old job back. Don't thank me.
well, that's amazing. That's amazing what they can do with oak now, you know that? That's remarkably flesh-like.
Get out of here.
You know, there's just one thing I don't get. Why didn't you check up on Brogan before you hired him?
Who says I didn't?
A&E will be right back with Slap Maxwell.